friend. Tell me what your secret is. Tell me please, can you put my mind at ease? When you're standing in the spotlight with all the girls around, I was wondering how you do it, how you make that sound, Tommy.
But what I really want to talk about is the love story in this film. The relationship between Alain Johannes and his wife, Natasha. Let me tell you, if you have a romantic bone in your body, the love story between these two musicians will bring you to your knees. It will leave you slobbering with snot coming out of your nose. It's just that powerful. And when you add the power of their love coupled with the power of the music that they play together, it comes together and intersects, and it's just smashing. It's just fantastic. It's one of the most powerful real-life love stories that I have ever come across, really personally in my real life. And so the story goes that he dreamt of her the night before he met her. And the next day, she just showed up into his life. And boom, it was simpatico. And from that moment, they had this connection that bordered on religious, and it bordered on telepathic. And the people that knew them said the communication and the connection that they had between them was just otherworldly, just bordering on something omnipresent, something way higher. The way these two people fall in love is basically the way I think that most of us kind of dream about falling in love. Especially, you know what I mean, artistic and creative musician types. As artists, we tend to try to create this utopia in our minds, this world where our artwork comes first, and beauty comes first, and traveling comes first, and seeing as many beautiful things in the world as you can while you're alive. That's what comes first. And I think the type of creative beings that want to live a life like that, you know what I mean, all of us, we dream of falling in love in just that special way. We wait for it, we hope for it, we pray for it, that one of these days that some really special person is going to stroll into our lives, and it's going to create this atomic chemical reaction, and it's going to change everything. And I think the sad reality for most of us is that so few people actually find it. And that is what is special about this film, and that is what is special about this story between these two people. Because if you know about the otherworldly power of music, and you understand the all-encompassing power of love, then you will understand that when the power of music and the power of love come together and they intersect, it makes something bigger that's all-powerful, something omnipresent in everything that exists. And that's what these two people created when they came together. Something that was bigger than one person, and it created something that's greater. So what have I been talking about? I have been talking about the documentary film Unfinished Plan, The Path of Alain Johannes. It's directed by Rodolfo Garrett. It was released in 2016. I think you can catch it on Tubi TV. That's where I found it. You know what I mean? The streaming stuff, they got stuff all over the place. But just check it out. Unfinished Plan, The Path of Alain Johannes, and just such an excellent film, such an excellent love story, and such a lesson. I won't give away too much about the film. You just have to really watch it. If you love music and you sort of have a romantic soul or whatever, then definitely highly recommend this one. So, who is Alain Johannes? Now, if you're a real rock and roll nerd, then you probably know who this guy is. But for the uninitiated, he is one of the most influential and powerful underground musicians to come out of an entire generation that spawned bands like Pearl Jam, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Nirvana, Soundgarden, countless others later on, Queens of the Stone Age. The list goes on and on. How many people that this man influenced. He had so much talent dripping off of him that everywhere he went, everyone that played with him came away sounding like him. Just this incredible talent. And there's not one person that ever played music with him that didn't come away with that influence. And they all sound like him. Like Chris Cornell, he got his sound from him. It just goes on and on. You can hear the influence in Soundgarden, and countless other bands, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. The reach of the influence of this man just cannot be understated. When Alan and Natasha started playing music together, it was described by other musicians as basically telepathic. The connection that they had was so strong that when they were together, they would constantly get little synchronicities in their life, little repeating numbers, little happy coincidences and such. And if you're in the know, then you know that when life is delivering you these little coincidences, these little synchronicities as you go along in your day, it's just sort of little breadcrumbs, little clues. There's something special that's going on. And hey, you're kind of on the right path, and something special is going on in the world. And so that's what happened when the two of these people are together, is that the freaking synchronicities are just like going off like fireworks, repeating numbers in their life and all sorts of things happening like that. And it's just amazing to me as a musician and as a songwriter to think about meeting someone that creates such a tangible power in your life. Like if you're a musician and you've jammed with another musician before, then you know that it's no joke when you have chemistry with someone. It's a really special thing when you have chemistry with someone. You can feel the power that is created, and it adds up, and it's you and it's them, and it adds up together, and it ends up making something that's a lot bigger and omnipresent, and something that's bigger than the sum of its parts and whatnot. And that's why people go to concerts. You know, when the magnetic field from my heart joins up with the magnetic field from the person next to me, and that adds in with the person next to them, and it's gonna build up in the room to this big bubble of energy, and everybody's gonna experience this higher thing. And that's what everybody goes. You have to excuse my cat's bugging me.
What do you want? What do you want? You will get a whooping.
All right. That's what, that energy builds up in the room, and that's what every single person that ever went to a music festival, that's what they were looking for. is so to think about creating something like that kind of energy, something that powerful with another person that you're truly in love with. I really can't even imagine it. I don't think most of us can. Not too many of us are fortunate enough to run across a love like that, where there's so much chemistry that it turns into something that even really you can't even put words to. That's pretty amazing. So to find that kind of love and then lose it, to have it taken away from you, that's some heavy shit. And that's a huge lesson for anybody. And that's what this film is about. It's about this amazing musician and his star-crossed relationship with a person that goes way beyond special into something extraordinary. And to find that kind of love and then lose it, I mean, it's a lesson. That's a lesson that man is gonna be going over in his head for the rest of his life. So just saying, if you believe in the power of music and you believe in the power of love, then you have got to see this film. If you have a romantic bone in your body at all, then you have got to see this film. If you truly are moved by the haunting and unpredictable nature of love, if you are romantic at heart, this film will leave you slobbering on your knees. It really will. So check it out. An Unfinished Plan, The Path of Alain Johannes. And that's going to really wrap it up, I think, for episode 1. Thanks for hanging out. Things are going to get more organized as I go along here, and get more organized and decide to probably move on to some video content or whatever. But this has been fun putting this first episode together, and it's very personal. I feel like I'm broadcasting to you out there wherever you are, and it's pretty neat, pretty personal thing. It feels like it's not anything but you and me here. If you have your headphones in, then here we are. It's just me and you. So it feels like a pretty personal thing, and I like that. So I'm going to keep on going with this, and we'll see what I come up with from week to week. We'll just let it evolve, and it should be fun. Y'all have a good week, and I will holler at you next week. Thanks. All right, also, I implore you, contact the show. If you have any questions, comments, arguments, anything at all, I implore you, please contact the show. I'm going to be using a Twitter page for the homepage for the podcast. The homepage for the podcast is going to be Twitter at HUDGee33. So HUDGEE 33 on Twitter. And leave any direct messages or follow, or I'm just going to be using that as a home base. I hadn't really had anything of practical use for Twitter until now, but Facebook is kind of running out of interest or whatever, so I think I'm going to be using Twitter as the homepage for the podcast here. So please argue with me. Tell me I suck. Tell me I'm a dumb motherfucker. Tell me what you think about it. Twitter at HUDG33. Hit me up. Let me know what's going on. Give it a follow.